All right, Neves, we got to pick a movie to review.
Okay.
So, we got showtimes for Venom Last Dance,
No, we're not doing that one.
Red One.
Fuck no. Hold on, I got one. Why don't we just rewatch Megalopolis again? I see a showtime for one theater about 70 kilometers away.
Yeah, so, no. Why don't we do Anora, that new Sean Baker film?
Oh shit, yeah, good movie. Fuck yeah.
Let's check that out. Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 165. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves, to my left.
Thank you.
And today, we are going to be reviewing Sean Baker's Anora.
Yep.
Yup.
So, Nathan, just want to state this out there, all right? We talked about challengers, all right? And you were like, oh, Neves, you're praising this film and all that.
Yeah,
and
I called you horny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, now we're talking about this fucking movie, huh? Okay.
And honestly, and now I'm thanking you for for putting this movie on my radar.
Yep.
Because this is my first Sean Baker film.
Okay, nice.
And I absolutely adored it. I am dying to go back and see the rest of his stuff, especially Red Rocket.
That's the one I saw.
I hear that's a fantastic film. He's cooking with this movie. I'm going to say that right off rip. Anora was not on my really release radar. This is a relatively low budget film of $6 million.
Yep.
And it's already grossed approximately $20 million worldwide. It's his highest grossing film to date. It's won the Palme d'Or at Cannes.
It's been winning every fucking award you can think of.
And it's potentially looking like it could win some stuff at the...
Some Oscars.
Some Oscars,
Yeah.
which is exciting. We'll see how that goes. But Anora, I had so much fun with this movie. It took me on a ride that I wasn't expecting.
Yes. I would say so. For me, because I did watch Red Rocket, that's the only other Sean Baker film I've seen.
Yeah.
This guy, he shoots on film. It's beautiful. The way he does it is so iconic, so distinct. It's like, I don't know how else to describe it, but it just feels right in terms of the way it looks, the way it's shot, the way it's edited and stuff like that. He also edited Anora, by the way.
I know, produced and edited.
This guy's doing everything. What I enjoyed about both of these films was he's commenting on a subject matter that a lot of people don't really make movies out of. Maybe it's a side part of a story with the sex industry, sex workers, exactly. And it's done in an interesting way because it's not like the typical format of how he does it, which is what I really enjoyed about this. I did like Red Rocket a little bit more than this film, but I do want to talk about how this movie tells its story.
Yeah.
And the performances and the overall pacing of it. Going into it, what did you expect from this?
Honestly, I didn't really know. I actually didn't see didn't really see the trailer.
Okay.
Like, avoided to like watching reviews beforehand.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what to expect. I knew it was about. I thought it was going to be mostly about sex work and like the life of like a stripper or whatever.
Right.
And the movie starts out that way and leads you to believe that, which I think it's an excellent intro to the film.
The opening shot and the closing are perfect to me.
Yeah.
These are 10 out of 10 in terms of how you start your film and how you end it, because that reminded me a lot of the opening of Psycho, where it's like that wide shot of a building, and then we just zoom into this one room. It's just like the same thing. We're zooming into this stripper's life. Out of all of them, we're focusing on hers now.
It's special, and they don't glamorize. They portray the sex work and the stripper life in like a really like grounded and like real way.
Yes.
The conversations they're having with each other, the way she's like hustling these men.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels really like authentic, right?
It's well edited in that regard.
It's not glamorized.
No.
And it's also not like, oh, look at this depressing life that she has.
Yeah.
It just portrays it as what it is. It's not trying to say something with it. I think it's just showing what the average like day in the life would be.
It reminded me a lot of like 70s filmmaking, where it was very like slow pans, zoom ins and stuff like that. And I think that's like, that to me makes it more natural, makes it more like, okay, we're going into this person's world. What is their day-to-day life like?
I love that.
Yeah.
That they established that day-to-day life thing. And then she meets the Russian son of billionaires, Ivan,
Yep.
who I love this character so much.
Yeah.
I think he's so over the top.
Absolutely.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The part like they're meeting and then them kind of going out in those first weekends when they go to Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are just so well edited and exciting times.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know it's like not gonna last.
Yeah.
But you don't know how it's gonna fall apart. And that's what I love about this movie. It does not spell it out. It always keeps you guessing. You go on this ride with Annie, with Anora,
Yeah.
and you don't really know where she's gonna take you, but you want to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're given these performances that are so distinct, so different than what you would have expected.
Yeah.
You're just like, what's going on? Like, what's going to happen after this?
The dynamics flip like crazy, right? Because at
Yeah.
first it's like, all right, she's hustling him, and as an audience member, you're like, all right, good for you. You're getting your money, whatever.
We're seeing
Fuck
that
the
part.
son of this rich billionaire.
Yeah.
This guy's a lazy prick. Who cares? And then all of a sudden, you know, there's this turn where the relationship is like almost cute, almost nice,
Somewhat charming.
almost charming.
Yeah.
And you genuinely start to believe that she loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything falls apart.
They get married and everything like that.
Yeah, they get married and everything falls apart. And then you're like, wow, you feel bad for her. When in the beginning she was hustling him.
Yeah. I think, yeah. And then that's where you lead into more of the family, the what is it, Igor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can I just say my favorite performances in this film? Because these are the ones that I think stood out the most. Yurik Borisov playing Igor and Mikey Madison as Anora. Best actors in the film, hands down. I think that if
Yeah.
it was more focused on them, I would have loved this film even more, in my humble opinion, because of the fact that they don't say a lot together, but they say a lot. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
For sure.
That's what good acting is. That's what great fucking acting is going beyond what a lot of these characters are saying, for
Yeah.
example. Not to say the other actors are bad. There is no bad performances in this film.
No, there's not actually.
There are just ones that I preferred more than others, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely felt like wanted to be Uncut Gems at times with its energy.
And that, I'm a sucker for Uncut Gems. It's one of my absolute favorite A24 films. And I love the chaotic energy of that. And it tries to be that here. Sometimes over the top, sometimes misses the mark.
I needed it to be more energetic. Like Uncut Gems felt like cocaine.
Yes.
This felt like a little bump.
Right.
And I'm
Maybe a
like,
little bump. Yeah.
I wanted more of the pacing to be quicker in that regard.
Sure. Like when they're looking for him,
Yeah, man.
that's where I have the most problems with the pacing.
Yeah.
Because the first half, the pacing is fantastic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the beginning to when things start falling apart, it to me was a snap of a finger. It was very fast.
Yeah.
It was very natural. Everything felt right. It was clicking. The cinematography,
Yeah.
the editing,
Yep.
the performances, everything was hitting.
Yeah.
The first half was extremely strong. I was like, wow, this movie's so good.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure, it gets a little over the top when they're looking for him. It becomes this like weird comedy like, I don't know.
I think what it was trying to do was like an Uncut Gems where it's just like, we got to fix up our fuck up. We got to do
Yeah.
this. Fuck. We only have so much time. Shit. And it's like that. To me, Uncut Gems worked because you followed Sandler's character throughout that entire fuck up.
Yeah.
It was on him. It was all this intensity. It was all this anxiety. What I would have kind of wanted from this film was seeing more of Annie experiencing that.
Sure.
She was definitely on the sideline during that whole scenario, which I understand given the scope of everything. It's just that if you're building on this mentality that she was actually in love with Ivan, you have to build on that more. There has to be a scene where she's like, fuck this, just runs out.
Yeah.
Talks to one of her stripper friends and stuff like that and tries to like figure shit out on her own terms. Whereas the other guys are like fucking Three Stooges. They're like, I don't know what's going on. Like,
Yeah, there's very much this like Three Stooges energy between them,
which is great.
which works at times. And
Yeah.
this movie has the ability to be incredibly funny and incredibly devastating all at once.
That whole sequence of them tying her up and trying to, shut up. Oh my fucking god.
Like, my theater was erupting
Yeah.
in laughter. Like, I have not heard people laughing in the theater like that in a really long time.
Yeah.
Probably the most laughter I've heard from my theater in the whole year.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, there was moments like there's a moment where, you know, when they first start getting together, where the main character, the guy's name's Ivan, right? Yeah. Where
Yeah.
Ivan flips onto the bed.
Oh, hilarious.
Everybody burst out laughing.
Hilarious.
It's like small stuff like that. It was so funny. And their dynamics and some of the stuff that he says. The writing, I feel like, is so real.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Because, and this is coming from praise of the actor playing Ivan as well.
Yeah.
He's a kid. What's the type of energy that you get? Because it's not in just the script, but it's in how he acts. So he's like, when he walks in, he's sliding and stuff like that. He's running up the stairs like he's just a kid playing with his like toy,
Rich
like
kid
yeah,
playing with his toys, his adult toys.
Yeah, fucking literally. And it's kind of this reality when it kicks in, where one of the guys is just like, that's not even his room. That's his fucking parents' room. His room's got like fucking spaceships and shit. And it's like, this is the reality setting in for Annie. And it's like, I wanted more of that reality hitting in terms of those scenes at least. But yeah, little moments like that, people laugh because it's like, it's a character moment that you realize who he is.
There's excellent character moments that you know exactly who he is. You know exactly who he is. And I feel like on a rewatch, you know exactly how this shit's gonna turn out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like as an audience, we're on the first watch, we're kind of programmed to go with it and like, maybe this love story will work out.
Yeah.
When you first watch it, because that's how they set it up.
Yeah.
But like, it's obvious that there's cracks in this, huge cracks in this plan.
Yeah.
It's never gonna work out. They're never gonna get actually married and be happy. Even though it kind of sets that up. I really like that about this film. It kept me guessing beginning to end. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun with this movie.
When I was getting into this film, I was expecting it to be like, just from the trailers and stuff, because I did watch the trailers, I was just like, oh, this is like Uncut Gems meets Showgirls, where it's like, it's about a sex worker and dealing with this, the whole world being destroyed in front of her type of thing, and her trying to get away. And it's not that, really. I mean, the Uncut Gems part, I think so, but it's not as in your face as I thought it would be. Just from the trailers, it felt really chaotic in that regard. But the second half was more mellow, especially when the parents show up and stuff. And you definitely got that great acting moment from Mikey Madison where she's like yelling at the mom and stuff like that. And it's just like, well deserved. Igor's there too, and the father's laughing. It's just like, it felt like a scene. It's a scene you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And it's done really well.
And it's very true to Igor's like just being a child playing adult, where it's like, all right, my parents got me, got to go back to being a kid. You know?
Or is it Ivan?
Or sorry, Ivan. Sorry.
Pretty common names.
Pretty common names. Ivan. You know, Ivan's character, like, all right, my parents got, like, there's a moment where you think he might stand up for it and be like, I do love this girl.
Yeah.
But he's just like, I got caught. Gotta go back to.
I fucked up.
Yeah.
I gotta do this. And
so it's like, it's just very telling about his life and who he is in that moment, right?
Yeah.
He's always been bailed out. He's never had to face real consequences of anything.
Yeah. Whereas, you know, you look at Annie's life and it's just kind of like she's working hard.
She's been on her own.
Yeah.
She's felt all the consequences, and anything that she has, she built herself.
Yeah.
Right?
And the reality really sets in for her as to how pathetic this person is.
I know.
And it's sad. It's really sad. I mean, the opening shot with the music, that song, really gives this very bittersweet tone to the whole movie, which, coming from Sean Baker, is no surprise. If you see a lot of his films, they're not super happy endings. They're reality bites. They're little moments in a person's life that sets in, and they have arcs that aren't typical. You know, you don't get the happy ending always, but you learn something. You learn something that changes you and hopefully makes you a better person and gives you a better future type of mentality. At least in this regard, I want to say the last shot of this film really is It's well done. It's amazing.
The last shot of this film is an unforgettable shot.
Yeah. No, I won't forget it because of the fact that, like, you know, the character went through so much and you see it all in that one shot visually. There is no dialogue after that.
It's unforgettable. And there's not a lot of movies off the top of my head where I'm like, I remember the last shot.
Yeah.
It stuck with me.
Yeah.
The last shot of a film is so important because it's what you leave with.
Yeah.
And man, when those lights turned on after that shot and you still hear the wipers going,
Yeah.
it's like you don't even want to look at anybody in your theater. You're just like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel so uncomfortable. Even I watched this with my girlfriend and she said that. She was like, that last shot made me so uncomfortable that I like didn't want to even look at anybody.
It's a lot.
It had that impact. And he did something here, man. I was moved. I was really moved by it. With a film that has a section that's Three Stooges-esque.
Yeah.
But then I leave moved. That's special.
I think it's because of the fact that, you know, we don't really get stories like this a lot. Because, you know, a lot of movies cost $200 million and are super advertised. You get Gladiator 2 trailers every 5 seconds. How many trailers of Anora did you really see?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's word of mouth that's really getting
And I
this.
mean, $6 million budget. Did this movie look like it had any budgetary restrictions?
No.
Not really.
They shot on location. Looks great.
They used the locations well.
Yeah.
The cinematography is beautiful. Some of the best cinematography I've seen all year.
Yeah. No, I would definitely say so. It's one of those things where the little shots, like Igor giving her the red scarf in that night shot. I'm like, damn, that's fucking.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
You could mute that fucking scene and you'll know what their relationship is like that because
Igor
of
as a character too.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's such a good supporting character.
Yeah.
Which he didn't have to be, and you do not expect him to be.
Yeah.
They set him up as dumb muscle.
Yep.
The enforcer guy, you know, like dumb guy who comes along to make
Right.
sure in case he's got to rough somebody up.
Exactly.
They have the conversation in the car. No matter how it goes, don't, be putting hands on him.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, this guy is just like a dumb, security guard.
Basically. So they're not going to do much with him because we rarely see that in movies.
And he has such a beautiful arc in this movie where he starts to think for himself.
Yeah. It's the characters you least expect that I appreciate Sean Baker doing because, just like I said before, with sex workers and bodyguards and all these small roles that you've seen in other movies, but they don't cover as much because, well, we got to focus on the main character. What if these are the main characters?
Right.
What if we cover them, actually? What do they have to fucking say? Now we hear it. Now we hear what they have to say. Now we see their characters at the front.
Yeah.
At the front, yeah.
That scene at the end where it's her last night in the house.
Yeah. I love that dynamic. I love that the dialogue that they were having.
It's like what you said, though. The dialogue is great, but it's what's not being said that both of them understand in that scene.
Yeah.
It's between the lines is why that scene is one of the best scenes in the film.
Mm-hmm. I fully agree.
They're
with
just
that.
like I love that they're just talking about their names. Like, oh, I like Anora.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than Annie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you can see between the lines of like why she calls herself Annie instead of Anora, her background, anything like that, history. You don't know specifics, obviously, but you know from the performance why she's rejecting it. Versus Igor, where it's just like, I like my name, this, that.
Yeah.
That's a stupid fucking name. It's
Yeah.
like, what are we saying beyond that? And that's what matters most, is you're not just saying just to say it. You're going beyond the pages. You're going for what the characters are going through, what they're feeling and whatnot. And yeah, this movie ain't a feel-good movie. I'm going to be real.
Oh no, it's a roller coaster
Yeah.
of emotions. You will laugh really hard.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You will leave devastated.
Yeah.
And that's for sure. Both of those things are for sure. You will laugh out loud and you will leave devastated.
I'm curious what you think of Red Rocket, because Red Rocket had a similar feeling where there were some hilarious scenes. There's a moment I'm not going to say what happens in the scene, but they play Bye 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 by NSYNC. And to me, way better use of it than Deadpool and Wolverine. That's all I'm going to say.
I gotta check that out.
Anybody knows that in the comments, but highly recommend that.
So there's some good laugh out loud moments in that.
Oh my God,
'Cause
yeah.
I thought,
And also that ending is fucking depressing too.
oh yeah, because I
But
thought
in a
the
different
writing
way.
here was just like, man, sometimes it's some of these like we're just regular situations, and the way people talk was like, you don't see this in movies too much, but it's like real life, you know?
Yeah.
Even just like the little side plot of like the ice cream store with the old man as the owner.
That's so
And they're just in there like smoking their vapes and just fucking around. And
Yeah.
then one of the friends is like, oh, he can't hear shit, he can't see shit, fucking Helen Keller ass bitch. I'm like, what?
So
I'm like,
I was trying.
did she just say Helen Keller ass bitch?
Yep. Fucking hell, man. There are lines in this movie that I'm just like, damn.
That line right there is so something that person would say in real life.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
This weed smoking
Yeah.
early 20-year-olds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Really-
the writing was so authentic at times, and that's what I laughed about. I laughed most in these like small real world situations, or like Igor's holding her. She's like,
Yeah.
let go of me, let go. He's like, no.
No.
It's like that delivery is one of the funniest moments of this movie.
Yeah.
All he says is no, but the way he does it is
It's
brilliant.
It's all situational in that
a
regard.
lot of situational comedy here.
Because and it's blocked really well.
So good.
And it's I think, the more I think about it, I do want to rewatch this film because
Me too.
I did love the film. I wanted to love it more. My main issue was I felt like they should have focused more on Annie's character.
Yeah.
Especially during that whole "we gotta find Ivan" type
She
of
does
thing.
definitely get sidetracked there in favor of the Three Stooges. And
Yeah.
I don't know how much I love that. That's kind of my problem with it too.
Yeah.
But I love the rest so much
Yeah.
that I'm okay with it, man. Overall, I'm really happy with this movie. I want to watch it again too, really bad.
Yeah. I gotta check it out at some point.
I think it is rewatchable. It is devastating.
Oh, yeah.
But super rewatchable because it has these fun moments and fun characters.
Fully agree. Also, the music fits
Great.
The music fits so well with the tone that this movie's trying to give. Again, like the opening song, very bittersweet, very like you
Great.
hear that poppiness and stuff like that. And by the way, whenever they were partying, they're like, "Oh, let's party and stuff." I was just thinking, man, I was watching this. It's like, this is a fucking nightmare, man. Like I can sense a fucking thunderstorm coming.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for it at the edge of my seat because I'm like, no, they're still partying. They're still going. It's like never ending.
Yeah, it's like Vegas, and then you think some shit's gonna happen, but then they come back and they're still partying, and it's like, when is this gonna?
When are they going to wake
explode?
up from this?
And how? Yeah, exactly. And how?
Yeah, and how?
You know, it's like a hangover montage, but it keeps going. Like it's not one night; it's multiple nights.
Yeah, man, which is fucked. Which is completely fucked. I think the one scene that made me like laugh out loud the most was Toro when he's like doing the baptism and stuff like that, and it's like, make sure it's a real. He looks at the phone. He's like, nope.
He's like, yeah,
No.
It's like, sorry, I got the ball.
I gotta go. And everyone's like, what? It's like, I gotta fucking go. It's like, fucking. Which, by the way, that actor has been in all of Sean Baker's films.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
He's so good.
He's amazing.
He's an absolute standout of this movie. So funny. Even like when he's driving there on the phone. Hello, what is happening?
He's been on the phone the whole
Yeah.
time. I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome, man. That's fucking
When she
awesome.
breaks the guy's nose.
Yeah.
That's like there's so many funny moments in that sequence. I was laughing so hard. Man, Anora is definitely a movie that I would recommend.
Yeah.
I hope it wins. I don't know. It's going to be nominated for a good amount of things, I think.
I think so. A lot of people are saying for actress for Mikey Madison. I think so. I personally like she might win or Zendaya for challengers.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of like the other roles that I've seen over the course of this year. She does a really good fucking job.
She does an incredible job at,
Like-
at capturing the nuance and the duality of her character.
And we talked about younger actors and stuff like that, and it's just like, we brought up Gladiator 2 with Denzel being like, this guy's got so much charisma for his age, and it's just like, this is old time like classic actor.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at like Austin Butler, Mikey Madison, a few other younger actors. Coincidentally, all of them were in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Everyone brings that up, but it's just like, well, it's because they're fucking great and they're getting more nuanced roles.
Yeah.
So give it time. We're getting these roles from these
agree.
younger actors.
I agree. This is 100% one of these roles. Off rip, you believe her as this hustler,
Yeah.
charismatic stripper girl. You believe that she's falling in love with this idiot.
Yep.
And you believe that she's devastated by the consequences. All of that. And that's a serious arc.
That's fucking hard, man.
Different emotions that you got to play, and she plays them all to a T.
Yeah.
It is one of the best performances of the year. She definitely deserves a nomination.
Yeah.
I think this film deserves a nomination for Best Original Screenplay. I think this film deserves
Do you think Best Picture?
I think it deserves a nom. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture.
No.
That's like a crazy long shot.
Dude, imagine. Holy fuck,
But
man.
screenplay, I think it's got a good shot, man. I
Screenplay.
really loved it.
I would say if it's going to win anything, it's got to win cinematography.
Yeah, that too.
Like, look, I get it, Dune fans. I get it. You like your Dune movie. I know people who love it. A lot of people do. But Anora, to me, looks much better. It just...
With way less money.
Yes. I would say so. That might be a fucking hot take of the century. I don't give a shit. It looks great.
Yeah, it's
performances.
hard to compare Dune.
I know.
Hard to compare Dune Part 2 to Anora.
Look, give that visual effects, all right? Everyone knows that has the best visual effects.
For
but
sure.
to me, cinematography, this one really nailed it. Nailed it on the head. And I would highly recommend Sean Baker's other films. If you're going to watch Anora, watch Red Rocket.
So you slightly still have Red Rocket a little higher than Anora, eh? That gets me
Yeah.
excited to watch Red Rocket.
To me,
honestly.
I think it's because the main character is more focused in that. He's the fuck up.
Got it.
He's the one that you see more of his arc. But no, if anything, like with this film, I'm gonna see Sean Baker's next film. I'm gonna see Mikey Madison's next film. Like whoever,
100%.
Like that's
whatever
a given.
they do,
That's-
whatever Mikey Madison does,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see her.
Yeah.
Whatever Sean Baker does, I'm there.
Yeah.
He wasn't on my radar before, but he is now and will be forever.
Definitely.
Honestly, like
Fucking same here.
he cooked with this movie. I know it's a bit of a limited release. By the time you guys see this, I don't know if it's still in theaters, but I'm sure it'll be a digital somewhere.
Oh yeah.
This is a great digital watch too. I think. I can't recommend this film enough. It's one of the best movies of the year. It will be on my top 10
Yeah.
movies of the year list, no doubt about it. Overall, final rating, I'm going to give this film 4 out of 5 stars, 8 out of 10. With a rewatch, I could even see myself upping it to a 4.5. Really love this film.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you there. The more I think about the film, as it stands now,
Yeah.
as we're recording, I'm gonna give Anora 7 out of 10, 3.5 out of 5. But honestly, the more I think about it, upon rewatch, I might bump this up to
You
a 4.
could see that, right?
Oh,
Me too. And I have thought about this film a lot since I saw it.
Same. Fucking like I've been listening to that opening song, and I'm just thinking, yeah, that movie, like,
Yeah.
it's very. It hits you in a way that is not like other movies.
For sure.
The way I would describe it, bittersweet, but in a good way.
Yeah, I've already forgotten Gladiator 2 and have thought about this movie.
And that film cost
way more.
That film cost $300 million more than this fucking movie. That's the thing. It's good writing, good
Yeah.
performances.
This movie, winning the Palme d'Or and hopefully doing well at the Oscars is good for cinema.
Absolutely,
It's good for film. It restores my faith in humanity. And we'll end it off there. Thank you for watching this episode of the
That's a
Real Talk
great way to end
Podcast.
off. Fuck.
Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe to your boys. It means the world to us. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Brush your hair.
Peace.